Here's
we were
the first
home.
thing Jonas did wrong. He let people know that he heard it. And see, that's the best thing about women. Women immediately come at you with what they heard. Mm-hmm. Men take that and they log it and they have it. And then they okay, well, if she's talking over here, maybe I need to check over here. And maybe I need to check over here. And never do they use that to let out where it came from or how they got it. Women, on the other hand, are like,
yeah, because I have the proof. Like, there's
proof of what?
I'll pull the footage.
I got
the footage.
But he's got proof of her talking about him when he could have had proof of her whatever. If he knew she was talking about him, he could have just sat back, not said anything, and just waited and put more effort into monitoring her and seeing what's going on.
Do you hear yourself right now?
I'm just telling you how guys and girls think.
Do you work for Intel? Like, I don't understand.
Girls can't control their emotions. They immediately spew it out.
Don't
marry a bitch.
Don't marry a ass man. And he gives me the assness is at an all-time high with Joe Jonas right now, for sure. But again, there's two areas that I feel like he needs to man the up. One, spying on your wife on the patio while she's having girls' night is just corny. And then two, the fact that that's what you're going to use as your means of, or your reasoning, but like that's your final straw, something that happens in every marriage on the planet.
Yeah.
If this is where we're at in relationships, this is frightening. And then on top of that, this is the example. So here's the deal. As a father who has a daughter, how would you feel if your teenage daughter was being tracked by her teenage boyfriend? I don't think you'd be okay with that. But he's learning it from his parents. Like that, this is what a healthy relationship looks like. We log in and we see what, mom's doing when she's home by herself or what dad's doing.
Here's the difference that you have to put into context when you're for teenagers. It's innocent. It is just that
stalking.
No, it is just knowing where they are and hoping they're okay.
Of an abusive relationship, like that. There's a very fine line.
Until you've been jaded in a relationship, you don't think that way.
There are people who are abused at a young age that become abusers at a young age. You have to be you're making very light of a very real situation. They're being emotionally abused via text messages.
You used my daughter as an example.
Uh-huh.
So if my daughter and her boyfriend are tracking each other, it's not out of mistrust or
what?
It's not out of anything.
You think that that's healthy?
No, I think it's normal because it's on every phone. Share my iPhone. Every one of my son's friends, my youngest friends is on his iPhone. He knows where all his friends are at all times.
Then your relationship, though, at 14 or 15, why do you need to know? Like, they're literally shrugging his shoulders at me.
She turns on her phone.
That's an invasion of privacy. You don't need to know where I'm at. When we are done with date night, you don't need to know where I go. Like, Len, how are you okay with this? That's a really
society.
weird.
Like I said,
that doesn't
even
make it
my
okay.
daughter, all of her friends are all
that doesn't make it. It's a different thing for a girl squad to be protective of one another. When they go out together, like, first of all, I love that. But guess what? Being able to track your friend after some dude has drugged her and dragged her out of a club is sort of helpful, but it would have been nice if you were paying attention to her when she was in front of your face. So, being able to track an iPhone when somebody tosses it in a trash can.
Seems like a double standard. You can have all your friends' locations, but you can't have your boyfriends or your girlfriends.
Why would you encourage that in people that are not, first of all, why would you encourage that in any, that is borderline abusive, stalkerish, overbearing. That's frightening. Because what happens if they get in a fight and she wants to get away from him and she's like, we're done, and he's sitting there in her phone.
Location off.
Why would he even be doing it in the first place? Why are you that's wild to me. I would think that you would be very concerned. Like, I know there's a lot of my dads will be like, excuse me, say what? He put there was just a story in the news here with who had the air tags in his girlfriend's car and was arrested for stalking. It was she could not get away from. You think that that's okay?
I don't think it's okay, but I think it's normal.
That's the most frightening thing I think. And you've said a lot of wild.
I don't necessarily think it's okay. How can you condone it? It is what it is. But it's always been that way.
No, it hasn't.
I mean,
no.
I would bet.
No, Len?
I would bet there's girls and guys out there using their dude's location or their wife's location so that they can around.
Lenny, what you're talking about right now, that is normal. Like me doing drive-bys, not okay. Like that's borderline crazy behavior. And I can admit it. Like I wasn't going to roll up on anybody. I wasn't peeking in your windows, but I was definitely trying to catch your ass in a lie. And I didn't.
That was normal.
I know, but I wasn't tracking your phone. Like this is something.
But it's just because you have new tools. If I guarantee you,
that's crossing a line.
If you had those tools when you were stalking, drive-bys.
I'm grown and I don't do it. I don't do it because it's not normal. I'm sitting here telling you.
Say what you just said. You're grown.
Yeah.
So if you were that same girl doing drive-bys and you had the ability to log into his ring phone, his ring, you would.
Your husband and your wife and track my phone or find my phone.
Today's adults are now technologically savvy. They have these
You're
tools.
55. You grew up before that. What are you talking about? And you do it.
Well, I don't have to drive.
And your wife
saving gas.
And your wife does it like
it's saving gas.
So I mean, you're saying, oh no, these people didn't grow, and you are the ones that are teaching your children that this is normal behavior for a 14 or 15-year-old in a relationship. Like talk about codependency. Talk about creating an unnatural level of access to a person. Like these are kids who are supposed to have curfews. These are kids who are supposed to be reporting to parents, not to their partners. That's a part of growing up. Like lying to your parents, I hate to say it, is a part of growing up. Like, I'm going to sneak out of the house. Like, there's certain things, and you have to learn why that's not a good thing. Like, you have to learn that cares about you. But there's also those times, like, and I don't know if you've ever been around, like, I've had friends that were in horrible domestic violent type situations, and this level of access is just frightening. And to think that, it's being normalized as, well, that's just how things are because you have that. No, you should be telling your daughter, absolutely not. Your boyfriend doesn't need unlimited access to your whereabouts at 15 years old. Absolutely not. When you tell him you're going home, he should take that at face value, period. Him being able to get in your phone and be like, you said you were going home and now you're at Jackson's. Like, what the How would you be okay with that as a parent, as a dad?
Because like I just
That's not a healthy relationship,
all of her friends are in her phone. Every one of her friends. You turn on her Find My iPhone, 15 people pop up, and you see where they all are. So why would you exclude your boyfriend from that?
Because that's a different kind of relation. Your girlfriends are not your,
it's not just girlfriends, friends, boys, everybody. Everybody in their friend group.
And first of all, everybody doesn't need access to you like that. That's also wild.
But that's normal. That's very normal for kids.
Why you're saying no? That's because you allow it. You really think that that's normal? You love to say that kids don't have control over their emotions, that they can't make rash decisions. So why would you want a person of the opposite sex that could be jealous, that could be possessive, overbearing, any of these things, and hide it, could be narcissistic, manipulative, whatever, having that kind of access, male or female, to your kid?
Listen, I get what you're saying. Miranda has a boyfriend that she's had, they're serious. They see each other almost every day. Of course, we did a background check. We scared the living out of him.
You do a background check.
We've done all those
let
things.
Him stalk her phone. I don't get it.
He's not stalking her though. It's normal for them to know where their friends are.
That is not normal.
It's normal for them.